from the heart of the Delaware Valley, where pride shines brightly.
Not only is queerness not hidden here, it's celebrated, and there's no place else like that on the planet for me.
LGBTQ couples who face challenges together.
We are no different than any other family out there. We deal with the same struggles.
You'll meet people looking for the one.
Meeting people is an awkward process, and it's important not to be hard on yourself.
And couples whose stories are preserved in time.
To see it documented like that was something really special. And then we thought, well, who are these guys?
Couples welcoming the next generation.
What makes a family is love, not necessarily a mom and a dad.
And couples uniting our community with flair.
There's nothing like going out and having like a big crowd and feeling that energy, and you feel like $1 million.
On the 10th anniversary of marriage equality, join us as CBS News Philadelphia explores the heart of pride.
Sponsored by Ensemble Arts Philly and the Philadelphia Orchestra. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us for the Heart of Pride, our CBS News Philadelphia special. I'm Jim Donovan.
And I'm Josh Sanders. We'll be sharing stories from our community that illustrate the powerful ways love shapes the LGBTQ+ community.
We're here in New Hope, Pennsylvania, where pride is felt year-round. Together with sister city Lambertville, New Jersey, New Hope has always been a wedding destination. Stella of New Hope is just one of those many exciting venues. Known for being a safe haven for gay people, New Hope and Lambertville have long been recognized for their welcoming attitude.
We call it the bubble, and we always say we don't leave the bubble because it is such a safe space.
Melissa Patterson has been living here for decades and married her wife here.
The community that you see welcomes you, accepts you. I mean, not only is queerness not hidden here, it's celebrated.
Those celebrations held at venues as diverse as the occasion and the people who are participating. For couples getting married, places like the River House at Odette's and Stella of New Hope often fit the bill, both offering spectacular riverfront views. Others opt for the historic charm of the Logan Inn, a landmark established way back in 1727. And nestled in the hills is the 240-year-old Holly Hedge Estate. That's where Andrew and Jason Chun exchanged their vows.
We love this place. It's because of how open and accepting the culture is here.
When planning their wedding, the couple had a specific sort of place in mind.
We wanted something warm, romantic, intimate, and I immediately felt all of that when I came on site, and I called him immediately and I was like, I think this is the place.
The estate has a reputation of being very gay-friendly.
Holly Hedge hosts a lot of queer events with New Hope Celebrates, bingos held here, a lot of other kind of smaller events. We have seen other couples get married here as well, so.
That was nice to have like that recommendation from some of our gay friends who also got married here.
The English Gardens provided the perfect backdrop.
They were so great and accommodating to every little change that we had.
I had a binder and I was very type A and very organized with everything I had dreamed of, literally, since I was little about getting married.
And Holly Hedge didn't disappoint.
It was just the most magical day for us.
Same-sex couples have always been here, but in the 1950s, being gay wasn't allowed or accepted by society.
Instead, people lived in secret. And these photos from a 1950s gay wedding prove that people found a way to celebrate their love, even if behind closed doors. But who are these people, and why didn't they get their photos back after dropping off the film at a drugstore in Philadelphia? We sent investigative reporter Liz Crawford to find out.
Nowadays, wedding photos are a dime a dozen, a testament of love and partnership. But wedding photos like these, two grooms in the 1950s, are practically unheard of.
This was so shocking, really, and exciting in a way.
PJ Palmer, a documentary filmmaker, came across the photos a few years back at an LGBTQ archive library in California. For Palmer, these pictures were worth 1,000 words.
It was really moving in a way because it was like, oh, wait a minute. We have a history. We really do have a history.
Palmer and his team were determined to find the men in the mysterious photos. Half of the collection was in California, but the other half was donated to the William Way LGBT Community Center in Philadelphia. We visited the archive ourselves and got to see some of the originals.
It's a whole wedding party.
According to the archivist here in Philly, the film was dropped off at this location on the corner of Allegheny Ave and Broad Street. Now it's a corner store, but in 1957 it was a drugstore, seen here in photographs from the 1950s. The wedding photos were never returned to the owner. Decades later, they resurfaced when they were donated to the archives. Palmer spent 3 years trying to identify the men.
And I can't tell you how many times we jumped on Zoom and said, "We found him, we got him."
Their research included talks with South Philadelphia native Mel Heifetz. He'll be 90 later this year. At the time of these photos, he was out as a gay 20-something in Philadelphia in the 1950s.
I see you looking at these, though. You're smiling.
Well, because I'm looking at gay men just doing what gay men do. I actually was, at that time, I was to 2 weddings that we had there, and they were in apartments in Philadelphia, but I don't know these people that are in here. If I did, certainly don't remember them.
Heifetz spent much of his life as an LGBTQ philanthropist and activist.
What was it like at that time for you in the 1950s in Philadelphia?
You went to gay bars, you ate in gay restaurants. Philadelphia has always had a gay community in Center City.
We might never know who these men are, but Palmer's not giving up.
And I still believe it's possible to find out who they are. I don't know if they're with us though, but if we could find the families, it would be lovely for them to know that these guys had a really good day. They had a really good day.
If you think you might know someone in these photos or have more information about them, contact CBS News Philadelphia and we'll connect you with the team working on the project. Liz Crawford, CBS News Philadelphia.
A local couple is proving that even with life changes, love remains the same.
We are here and we're not going anywhere. Try as they might, we're not going anywhere.
You'll meet a couple thriving years after one of them transitioned from female to male. But let's start with the modern dating scene.
They are looking for meaningful connections, and they're finding that the over-monetization and the over-gamification of the dating apps isn't leading to meaningful connections.
You'll meet a man helping singles find love in the heart of Pride. Welcome back to the Heart of Pride, coming to you from Carla's, a popular date night spot here in New Hope. Apps and websites are still a great way for the gay community to meet their potential partner.
But the dating landscape, it's changing. As CBS News Philadelphia reporter Ryan Hughes shows us, many people are now looking for different ways to find love.
Yeah. Pam and Stacy Wickstead are settling into motherhood. Their 1-year-old Carter keeps them busy, and he added more love into their home in South Jersey.
I'm very grateful for the fact that our son can now grow up in a world that will respect and, again, protect and provide dignity to relationships and families like this.
Pam and Stacy both came out after college, and they turned to dating apps to find relationships where they eventually found each other.
I feel like in the LGBTQ community, trying to meet someone and find genuine relationships was very difficult at that time.
It was a way to be myself and, meet people that were like-minded and a lesbian. And it was a safe way to talk to them because I'd never tried it before. Want to show them your toy?
That was 7 years ago. They got married in 2021 and credit the app Tinder for finding love. But dating in 2025 has changed a bit.
Now it seems like people are moving from the apps more towards things like matchmaking.
I call myself like a personal Cupid or a headhunter for love. I'm there with them through the entire process.
Wade Kyle is the magical matchmaker and helps forge connections in the gay community. He says people are reaching out to him to find more meaningful relationships.
What I'm seeing is that people are really over the dating apps. They're over the superficial swiping.
Instead, Kyle says singles are having better luck finding a partner by joining a softball, bowling, or running club. A common interest and an authentic in-person connection.
I guess I would say I'm firing on all cylinders.
Greg Skinjuleski has turned to Kyle to help find his match, and he's putting himself out there. beyond the apps to find love.
I believe in it, I believe in love, and I believe that it will find me.
Ryan Hughes, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Once you find your soulmate, marriage is the beginning of a new chapter. It's about loving through change. We introduce you to a couple whose bond grew even stronger when one spouse helped the other transition. Vic Crozier and Lauren Conrad fell for each other fast.
We had a date and everything's pretty much history from there.
Yeah, I gave her a drawer and she never left.
They met each other through a mutual friend and quickly bonded after breakups. And Lauren formed a deep connection with Vic's son, PJ.
He was hugging on her, and I'm like, well, that's it. Like, if he's in, I'm in.
I knew what I wanted, and we just had this chemistry, and still do, that has transcended obviously a lot of things.
They married 10 years ago when they both identified as women, celebrating their union twice, once in Scotland and the other in a friend's backyard in Delaware.
This one would marry me 50 times if he could.
But if marriage is a journey, 7 years ago, Lauren helped Vic take steps down a new path.
So early on in our relationship, I was like, "You're not a lesbian." And he's like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "I think there's something else going on here."
In my heart, I guess, I was pushing back and saying I don't feel comfortable with this, but I didn't have the language, nor at that time did I have any knowledge that there were people that existed outside of the binary. I very much identified with my dad's clothing. My dad traveled a lot for work, and I would go in and snoop in his wardrobe and wear his watches.
Vic began his transition to become his authentic self.
Got hooked up with a really great nurse practitioner through Mazzoni and started down that road of hormones, and here we are. You know, a lot more hair here and a little bit more up on top.
Obviously, I'm supportive of you no matter what, and I love you, and I'm attracted to you.
Their love proves that true partnership means celebrating who you are and who you're meant to become despite challenges facing the LGBTQ+ community.
It's a frightening time for a lot of people in the community. I think it's particularly frightening for trans women with the rhetoric that's going on right now.
We are no different than any other family.
We are here and we're not going anywhere.
Standing strong and standing together. Josh Sanders, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Couples in our area are worried about proposed laws that could either end or restrict same-sex marriage.
Now to be in a world where you're worried that that right might be taken away after having it is like terrifying.
We'll hear from a local attorney who helps couples protect their union. Plus this.
We're a big family with our doula, and we can just be ourselves.
A local doula is helping queer families bring the next generation into the world. You're watching The Heart of Pride. Welcome back to The Heart of Pride. We're at the beautiful River House at Odette's. Now, queer doulas have been gaining recognition for their help with LGBTQ+ people during pregnancy, birth, and postpartum.
CBS News Philadelphia health reporter Stephanie Stahl introduces us to a couple and their doula.
A kiss to welcome baby sister to the family.
Family's everything to us.
Mary and Marissa had their youngest daughter with the help of doula Elizabeth Weinstein. A doula is a non-medical professional who gives physical, emotional, and informational support to parents during and shortly after childbirth.
I identify as queer, and so I really love being able to support other queer families in my community.
The Montgomery County couple says it was important to have a doula with an LGBTQ perspective and sensitivity.
When you're in those high moments of already stress and anxiety, it's to be able to be surrounded by people who you know, understand, don't question it, without a doubt supportive was crucial.
Mary carried their last two babies. Marissa had their first daughter.
It's such an intimate experience that I needed to know that we were with somebody who wasn't going to call me dad.
It was also an emotional journey for Tristan Reese, a transgender man who gave birth 8 years ago. He now provides fertility support for trans people and highlights the advantages of working with a doula.
There are lots of studies that show that the amount of stress you experience during labor and delivery impacts how long the labor process goes for. It can even impact your postpartum experiences.
With a growing number of people who identify as LGBTQ having babies, Doulas who specialize in those pregnancies, like Ari and Elizabeth, are becoming more popular.
I am a queer full spectrum doula. That identity is important because it makes it known to like queer families or gay families or trans families that they will have somebody in the room who like understands, knows, and respects them. Yeah.
Mary and Marissa say the delivery of their 4-week-old was a great experience, mainly because of Elizabeth, who they felt an immediate bond with.
The second that we met Elizabeth, we were like, yep, this is the baby's middle name, because it was just so serendipitous.
Making Elizabeth more than just their doula, but also part of the family.
A big, gay, happy family.
Stephanie Stahl, CBS News, Philadelphia.
On your corner in West Philadelphia, and this is no ordinary porch sale. River Nice and their fiancé Felix are planning a wedding. They've been selling their unused items to cover the cost. The trans couple says marriage was on their minds for a while, but they pushed up the date because of concerns over the future of marriage equality.
It's so wonderful to feel that love and support from my queer friends, from my straight friends, and know that like even though there's a lot of politicians and people in power that want to hurt us or just don't care about us, at least my people have my back.
The couple says they're fortunate to live in a neighborhood that's not only accepting, but supportive. Lawmakers have introduced measures urging the U.S. Supreme Court to strike down the 2015 landmark decision that legalized same-sex marriage.
CBS News Philadelphia's Josh Sidorowicz spoke with couples taking steps to prepare for an uncertain future.
Like, those are cute.
Anthony Lewis and Dan Simpson are all smiles.
Oh, I like that one.
Looking back on their big day just 8 months ago.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Dream wedding, everything was perfect.
But behind those smiles lies uncertainty.
Growing up as a kid, I never thought there'd be a day where I could marry the man I love. And like that day came and it was incredible, but now to be in a world where you're worried that that right might be taken away after having it is like terrifying.
A recent poll of married LGBTQ couples found more than half worry the Supreme Court could overturn Obergefell, the 2015 decision that made marriage equality the law of the land. Concerns started building in 2022 after the Supreme Court struck down the constitutional right to abortion. Justice Clarence Thomas wrote the court had a duty to reconsider other decisions that relied on similar legal arguments, like same-sex marriage.
Let me sign the Respect for Marriage Act into law.
The Respect for Marriage Act passed by Congress that same year was meant to counter that possibility by at least protecting federal marriage benefits and requiring legally performed same-sex marriages be recognized in all states.
So do you think Obergefell will be overturned?
If I had to predict, I would say instead of a flat-out overturn, they will slowly chip away at the rights inherent in marriage.
Philadelphia attorney Angela Giampolo has spent nearly 2 decades working with LGBTQ clients like Dan and Anthony, and her approach has remained the same with or without marriage equality.
Even post-marriage equality, I've continued to treat all of my, especially estate planning clients, as if they're unmarried because there is zero power inherent in marriage. There are 1,138 state and federal privileges tied to the institution of marriage, but zero power.
But she says couples can establish that power by forming legal bonds beyond marriage. It can be done through estate planning, by setting up living trusts and creating powers of attorney for financial and healthcare decisions like hospital visitation rights. For Lisa LaGreca, it's more than a what if. Before she and Allison married in 2013, she lived the reality of losing her previous partner without having legal protections in place.
To not be treated like anyone else that was in a relationship. It's very real when you have to go through that.
The two now say despite their fear, they want couples to know they can take steps to safeguard each other.
I feel a whole lot better. And our kids feel a whole lot better too. So I have a level of comfort knowing that I'm protected legally, or at least the steps that some layers of protection.
Protection to prepare for what could be ahead. Josh Sidorowicz, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Living and working together can be challenging.
But one couple shows us it doesn't have to be a drag.
I would say drag is a
creative expression. It's a larger-than-life way to perform.
This couple lives with a lot of life and a lot of style.
How they share their passion with hundreds of fans. You're watching The Heart of Pride, a CBS News Philadelphia special. We're shining a light on love, family, and belonging. One Delaware dad found love. He and his husband are now bringing joy through their entertainment.
CBS News Philadelphia's Wakisha Bailey shows us how their love story is making an impact on and off the stage.
I would say drag is a creative expression.
It fosters inclusivity, especially for the queer community.
It's freeing, it's fun, it's gender bending.
It's belonging.
He's my first boyfriend. I fell in love, with him first, but and then it was just a very special time.
Danny Bonacore and Troy Hendrickson said "I do" in 2024, but their love story started a decade earlier.
He's my business partner, he's my life partner, and he's my best friend.
Back then, Danny was a newly divorced dad. Liam was 11, Annabella just 2.
How would you describe them?
Dramatic.
Anyways, guys, Aunt Mary back here. Hope you're doing good, Sam.
But the light came with viral star Aunt Mary Pat.
Aunt Mary Pat's it's a character for sure.
And guess what? They're not even present. They don't even know what they're looking at.
A drag veteran of 15 years, Troy initially kept that world quiet from Danny.
As soon as he found out, he was like, oh, I can't believe you. I don't know if I want to be a part of this.
But costumes turned into pride. Now, every Sunday, they host drag brunches locally where love is always center stage and they prove anyone can be a star.
How about Kiki Hart?
Kiki Hart, that works.
Oh my God! It looks amazing, but I was not expecting this.
And with a flair for fabulous, this family is full of heart.
I like telling people Aunt Mary Pat is my dad.
Just love yourself, first of all, and then you can make room for other people.
Wakisha Bailey, CBS News, Philadelphia.
From couples of the past, present, and future, our region is full of people in the gay community who prove, with a lot of heart, love does win.
You can share this special with others on CBSPhiladelphia.com. Thanks for watching The Heart of Pride. Sponsored by Ensemble Arts Philly and the Philadelphia Orchestra.